The arrogance of 2026. We have high speed internet, artificial intelligence, yet we are still the same flawed animals we were in the trenches. Stop pretending your smartphone makes you a better human being. Previous installments of this series, we have looked at informational battlefield. We have identified the AI mirage, the Soviet erasure, where we have removed the airbrushed history in real time. We established that if you do not know your history, you are walking into a digital ambush just like these victims of the Soviet erase. Today, we have to address the most dangerous psychological vulnerability of the modern age. It is a specific type of conceit that I call the arrogance of 2026. It is a pervasive, unspoken belief that because we have achieved massive technological breakthrough, we have somehow evolved past the brutal realities of human nature. Let me give you an example. When there is a fight, okay, even a fight at school, okay, talking to students out there, right? For those of you that don't know, I'm a former teacher, right? I taught for 12 years. I taught high school. I taught K through 8. I taught all of it. Okay. When there's a fight at school, okay, very rarely, very rarely do students try to break it up. Okay. And I'm not saying it's their responsibility to, but what they do, or what very many of them do, is they take out their phones. They take out their phones and they record it. They use massive technology, this massive piece of technology, to record a brutal piece of human nature, to spread it further on the internet. We see it all the time. There are dedicated pages on Instagram to spread these fights. Okay. I've seen it. Schools have tried to shut it down, districts have tried to shut it down. Okay. So we can't get away from what we are as ugly human beings, no matter the type of technology that we have. Okay. We cannot get past this smug sense of superiority. Look at this technology we have. We're better than everyone. Yet, we are still brutal animals at our core. We read about the collapses of the 20th century, the purges of the 19th century, the decadence of Rome, and we tell ourselves that it can never happen to us. Yet it's happening right in front of us. And we're the cause of it. We think we're too smart for it. We think our algorithms have solved the problems of human chaos. Yet we are the human chaos. As a veteran who has seen what happens when the veneer of civilization is stripped away, okay, I'm telling you right now that this arrogance is a death sentence. Technology does not change the human soul. Okay? It only provides faster, more efficient ways for the human soul to express its darkest impulses. Now, I am pro technology. I'm pro AI. Okay? I think it helps makes our lives easier, makes our lives better. It could also help people improve. It could help students. It could help teachers. It could help veterans if it's used morally and ethically with direction. The problem is so many humans don't have morals. So many humans don't have ethics, and so many humans ignore direction that we get shit like this. The illusion of moral progress. We live in an era of unprecedented comfort. In Phoenix, I'm back at home, by the way. There's a reason why I haven't made long form content in such a long time. We can control the climate of our homes through our air conditioner until it's taken away. Okay. We lost our air conditioner. No, I didn't lose it. Like, I couldn't find it, right? It stopped working. And it's summertime. It got over 100 degrees in our home. I couldn't safely stay here with my wife, my kids, my mother in law, and my cat. So we had to leave. But when we can control it, it's nice, right? It's nice. We could access the sum total of human knowledge while sitting on our couch. But just because you can access it doesn't make you smart. There's a difference between access and knowledge. We could have food delivered to our door without ever looking another human being in the eye, and I actually like that one. The level of comfort has tricked us into believing we have made moral progress. Moral progress and technological progress are two different things. We look back at our ancestors and we judge them for their brutality, their tribalism, their ignorance. We tell ourselves we're more enlightened because we have social media platforms that preach inclusivity and AI models that are programmed with corporate guardrails to keep our language sanitized. This is a total lie. Your social media platforms are not inclusive. Your algorithms make sure that they are not inclusive. Your algorithms make sure that the content that you have access to is shit that you agree with. Know that. Please know that. And some would argue, I'm not sure if I agree or disagree with this yet. I'm still kind of discovering this myself. Corporate guardrails on AI, we all know what corporate, we all know what some corporations, how they are and how they act. Should they put guardrails on anything? Because some are sleazy little shitbags. Okay. Moral progress is not accumulative in the same way technology is. You could pass down blueprints for a jet engine or the code for a neural network from one generation to the next, and that next generation would hopefully improve on it, right? But you cannot pass down character in the same way. You could pass down characteristics. You could pass down, hey, maybe we should act this way, or this is the best way to approach these situations. But then we hope that the next generation does things that way. Hope is not the same as this is how you build an engine. You cannot download resilience or wisdom. Like every single child born into this world starts at 0. They are the same raw, primitive, self-interested animals that we were born 10,000 years ago. Our technology has simply created a padded room that hides the truth from us. We think we are more peaceful because we do not have to kill our own food. Guess what? When you go to the grocery store and you go down the meat aisle, that didn't show up by magic. When you go down the fruit aisle, the vegetable aisle, that didn't show up by magic. When you go down the canned goods aisle, somebody put that stuff in cans. Somebody picked that fruit. Somebody picked those vegetables. Somebody slaughtered that meat. There's a cost to all of that. A land cost, animal cost, a human cost, and a monetary cost, of course. Okay. We think we are more tolerant because we can block anyone who disagrees with us. I'm sure a lot of people have blocked me, and I'm cool with that. We have not evolved. We have been sedated by luxury. The God complex in a machine, if you will. Like artificial intelligence has accelerated this arrogance to a terminal velocity. And again, I'm pro AI. I am. We are currently delegating our thinking, our ethics, and our decision making to machines. Okay. And we're doing so at an accelerated rate. There's a growing segment of the population that believes AI will eventually solve the problems of human conflict. This I vehemently disagree with. If you don't get humans speaking to each other about why conflict is occurring or potential conflict is occurring, we have a problem. They think that if we just get enough data and enough processing power, we can create a perfectly fair, perfectly objective society. Let me remind you about Vietnam. and Secretary McNamara, Robert McNamara, who just wanted data points and body counts and data on all the materiel that went into Vietnam, feed it into a machine, and this is when we should win the war. Well, that didn't work out now, did it? Because guess what? The enemy has a say, and humans have a say. This is the ultimate expression of what is called the God complex. The people building these systems believe they could program out human biases. Humans will always have biases. And some people say, oh, I'm unbiased. Bullshit. Bullshit. You might be sitting here watching this right now saying, oh, I'm unbiased. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Everyone has biases, including me. They think they could create a digital moral compass that is superior to the messy, complicated realities of human existence. Humans are not black and white in terms of morality. There's always a gray. But those machines are built by humans. They are trained on data. Someone's at my front door. See, technology told me someone's at my front door. Comfort. They are guarded by ideological preferences of human developers. When you trust a machine to tell you what is true or what is right, you are not ascending to a higher level of enlightenment. You are surrendering your autonomy to a silent authority. It's like giving your autonomy to a government that you have no say over, that you cannot even see. That'd be crazy, right? You're becoming more vulnerable to manipulation, not less. Because who's controlling the AI at that point? Who's controlling the algorithm? The arrogance of 2026, as I've dubbed it, that's my title for the whole thing, okay? Tells you that the machine is an oracle. It's the, like it knows all. It's the end all be all. The blunt truth is the machine is a mirror. It's a reflection of who we are. It reflects our own biases, our own desires, back at us with a polished, authoritative voice. Think about that. I'll let you guys rest on that for a bit. Tell me what you think that means down in the comments. The fragility of the padded room, the danger of this arrogance makes us fragile. In the military, we understood that the plan only survives until the first shot is fired, right? A plan is a plan until bullets start flying, then you better adjust that plan. We trained from the moment the technology failed, which it often did. We learned how to navigate with a map and a compass because we knew the GPS would be jammed, all right? We learned how to fight in the dark because we knew the power would go out or our night vision goggles would be shit, right? Modern society has no backup plan, right? What would you do? And tell me truthfully down in the comments. Tell me truthfully down in the comments. If the internet went down, like out, for a month, including cell service, for a month, what would you do? What would you do? How would you navigate life? How would you work? How would you communicate? Tell me honestly down in the comments. I'm very curious to see people's answers. I would be lost because I do a lot on the internet, right? I video game, right? And now there are some games I play that are offline, right? I could definitely do that, right? But I write, but then I publish my writing. I make videos, but then I publish those videos. Right? So a lot of what I do is online. So I would be lost. I'd be like, damn, that sucks. We're so convinced of our own technological invincibility that we've allowed our core survival skills to fade away. And by core survival skills, I don't mean like go live in the woods, right? Or go survive in the middle of the desert. I don't mean that, but like, how are you going to get through day to day? How are workplaces going to survive this. Right? We've raised a generation of kids who cannot navigate their own neighborhoods without a digital map. If your kids got lost down the street, how many of them could realistically find their way home? Now, I'm not saying do not go drop your kids off 2 blocks away from home and leave them there. Do not do that. Just think about it. All right? We have an economy that's entirely dependent on frictionless global supply chains, where if that technology is turned off or ceases to exist, oh man, we have a political discourse that's entirely dependent on digital platforms that could be silent in an instant. Now, that might be good because now I'm speaking for the United States here. Our Congress and our president need to stop using social media because, first off, they're bad at it. Second, they're bad at representing the American people. And third, they suck. So if you believe technology makes you superior, you will not feel the need to prepare for its absence. But then if it does become absent, your superiority is now gone. You will not build the mental calluses required to handle that crisis. You will not learn the history of how societies actually fail because you will be convinced that your society is actually different. All societies have done this. Every society that has collapsed has felt that it was superior in one way or another through its technological advancements. The arrogance of 2026, again, my turn, tells you that the lights will always stay on. History tells you that every empire eventually sits in the dark. Think about that. Dismantling the conceit. How do we fight this? Okay. How do we protect our families from the rot of this technological smugness? Starts with a brutal reality check. We have to stop equating technical proficiency with human value. Okay. Being able to prompt an AI or code a website does not make you better, wiser, or more virtuous than a man who farmed the land a century ago. See, the problem with today's society is that we judge the past with the morals, values of today. Okay? I see it all the time. I saw it in the classroom. I taught history and I taught government. Oh, well, that's dumb. Why would they do that? Well, that's what they thought was right at the time, right? It's not right now, right? But you weren't there because I bet if you were, you would have thought that way. And then some students will step back and go, oh, okay. Some say, oh, no, there's no way I would have thought that way. But no way, Mr. Jeff. I would have never thought that way. Yeah, you would have. Yeah, you would have. You just smile. Okay. In many ways, the man from a century ago was your superior. He was more self-reliant. He was more attuned to the realities of life and death. He was less susceptible to the digital mass hysteria that plagues us today, right? Because there was no X or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or Threads or Truth Social or whatever 9,000 other social media platforms that people freak out over. We have to acknowledge that we're capable of the same atrocities as the generations that came before us, if not worse ones. If we believe that we are immune to tribalism, you're lying to yourself. In fact, we are worse when it comes to tribalism because of technology. We will fall right into it. If we believe we're too smart to be manipulated, again, you're lying to yourself. You're manipulated every day by the media on these social media platforms. We're already being controlled. The only antidote to the arrogance of 2026 is a deep, uncomfortable immersion into the truth of human nature. Taking a deep look at yourself and a deep look at humanity and realizing that we are no different than those of the past. the objective standard. In the next part of this series, we're going to go back to the Roman Republic. Okay, remember this series is about technology of today and the history of the past. Okay, we're going to go back to the Roman Republic. We're going to look at how a society that considered itself the pinnacle of civilization fell into a cycle of mob violence and populist rage. Sounds like modern day United States to me. Rome has fallen. We're going to prove that the Roman mob and the modern social media mob are the exact same animal. The only difference is the speed of the message. If you want to survive the next decade, you will have to kill the part of you that thinks you are special because you live in the future. You are not. You are not an infantryman in a timeless war for the human soul. The weapons have changed. The stakes have stayed the same. Stop trusting the mirage. Start building the armor. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to Veterans Perspectives. I will link the blog down in the description. Please make sure you like and follow, subscribe to the blog. It's free. I would appreciate your support. I will also link our Etsy store. If you guys would like to purchase any of our shirts, mugs, we do have wall art as well. My wife and I create all the designs. We use a print-on-demand company to print and ship. Free shipping on every single item in our store. We appreciate your support, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.